Hey everybody, it's Jason Cardamone. Just want to say welcome to the team. So we're going to talk a little bit about, we're going to go over the 4 stages of competence, and this gets a little bit into psychology, but don't worry, I'm going to break it down into very easy to understand terms. And this literally is one of the most important things that I've ever learned in my career. That's why I'm sharing this with you right off the bat. So first we're going to cover the 4 stages, then I'll explain them. So at the very bottom here is stage 1, and it's called unconscious incompetence. The very next stage, stage 2, is conscious incompetence. Stage 3, which is really our goal to get you to as soon as possible, is conscious competence. Then the very top is unconscious competence. Now let's start back over. We'll talk about unconscious incompetence. What this means is that you're not aware of how bad you are at something. A great example, I have a 4-year-old son. I also have a 2-year-old and a almost 3-month-old. My kids don't know what internet marketing is, so not only are they incompetent, which means they can't do internet marketing, they are unconscious of it. They're not even aware that internet marketing exists. Now, next level up, level 2. This is conscious incompetence. And let's say my kids went on to be internet marketers. Who knows? If they were to do that, this is where the vast majority of everybody who ever quits anything quits. It's when they become aware, so they're conscious about how incompetent they are, how bad they are at something. Now, many people are trying to learn internet marketing. This is a stage where you feel frustrated. You may feel like a loser. Maybe you can't do it. You're not smart enough. You don't have enough money. You don't have enough time. All these excuses that we come up with, these are a way to protect us psychologically, but forget all that. You need to know, when you start feeling like this, you're in stage 2 right here. Your job is as quickly as possible to move up to be consciously competent. Now, a great example also, let's say you're learning to drive a car. When you're first learning, you're conscious that there's a brake and a gas, maybe a clutch if it's a stick shift. But you're incompetent where you're not quite sure how much gas to give, how much clutch to play with the gas. You're not quite sure how hard to push the brake. Everyone might fly forward when you hit your brake. So that would be consciously incompetent. Now when you move on from there to conscious competence, and everybody can get to this stage. It simply takes repeated actions over time. You will get to where you're conscious, let's say driving a car. You know how to work the stuff and you're competent at it, which means you're good. You give the clutch and you know how much gas to give to play along with it. Different cars, maybe a little less clutch, maybe a little more clutch. So just examples I'm trying to relate that you would understand. So just know everybody can get to this stage, just like almost everybody can drive a car unless there's some physical handicap or something. And it takes time. You have to stall out your car a lot of times. You have to mess up a lot before you get to be consciously competent. Now, you do something at the conscious competence level enough, and most personality types, you will get to move on to what's called unconscious competence, which means you don't even have to think about doing it. Let's use the driving a car example. Have you ever driven anywhere and you didn't even think about how you have to get there? You didn't think about what roads to turn on. You didn't think about whether the lights are red or green. You didn't think about whether you're pushing the gas or the brake or even how fast you're going. But yet, if you ever became conscious during the ride, you look down, you're going within a certain amount of the speed limit. And depending on how you drive, you're probably right where you normally drive at, either a little below, right at, or a little over, or a lot over. And so, unconscious competence is really where you will probably get to if you do something for long enough. For example, I've played soccer for 28 years now. There are things I can do with the soccer ball I do literally don't even have to be aware of. I don't have to think about it. Things just happen. Where someone that is consciously incompetent might be watching and be like, holy cow, I could never do that. I could never be that good. I could never do this. That's because they haven't played for 28 years. They played for 5 minutes and then they quit because they were conscious about how incompetent they are. The same things happen in internet marketing all the time. Like I said, the vast majority of everyone who ever quits anything quits when they're consciously incompetent. Now, also remember what I said, anybody can move up to be consciously competent. Now, with that said, you need to be aware of the success formula, which is success equals your skills multiplied by the amount of action you take. So success equals skills times action. Now, you can go learn all the stuff in the world and become consciously competent all you want, but if you don't also take action on these skills that you're learning, you'll have zero success. So let's say your skill is a 10, a million, whatever it is, but you never take any action because you always want to perfect it, you want to wait till everything's perfect. Well, you will have zero success because anything times zero is zero. Okay? Now here's another problem you may have. Remember, success equals skills times action. You may be taking all the action in the world, spending money, putting in time, trying to join every program in the world, a huge problem here. But yet you never develop your skill set. You never learn how to build a list. You never learn how to properly drive traffic. You never learn how to own your own real estate online. All these things we can learn as internet marketers, you never learn those, so your skills are zero. So you're taking a million action. You could spend $1 million in the wrong places. But if your skills are zero, anything times zero, so anything times zero equals zero. So you have to find a balance. Everybody can be successful, but you need a good blend of a lot of action and good skill development. So just be aware, what I got so excited about when I became aware, when I found myself frustrated, or even the thoughts, man, I'll never learn this, it's too hard, somebody else, this is more for somebody else, not my personality type. All these thoughts you may have, my mom or dad did this or this, so I can't learn this, whatever it is, that be aware of this. That means you're consciously incompetent. It means you need to get better and become consciously competent. The third level here. Now, there's also a 5th level way at the top here, and we're not even going to go into it, but it talks about the ability, when you're already unconsciously competent, the ability to be able to teach others to become unconsciously competent. And this is debated in a lot of different psychology circles and things like that. So we're not going to talk about that. Just know the 4 main ones. And once again, unconscious incompetence. Conscious incompetence. This is where most people quit everything. You want to get out of this stage as soon as you can and move up to conscious competence. This is where you'll start making money. This is where you'll start getting leads. This is where you'll start having some success. And this comes when you get a base amount of skills and take some basic actions on it. So, a little bit of action, a little bit of skills lead to a little bit of success, and it builds from there. Now, you can sit at conscious competence your whole life and make millions and millions of dollars. You never have to even become unconsciously competent. But you will get there over time if you do something enough, dozens, hundreds, thousands of times. I've shot about 30, 40, 50 videos. So if it seems like I'm pretty comfortable here, it's because I've done it several dozen times now. Once I've done this hundreds or thousands of times, it's going to come super smooth and I'll be really unconsciously competent. So I hope this helps you out to your ultimate success. Remember, get out of stage 2, get up to conscious competence. So take care. We'll see you guys on the inside.